Alright. I'm just gonna kind of start, because I'm generally a believer in the philosophy that if you build it, they will come, which usually happens with these streams. So I don't know if I'm actually... Okay, wait. Okay, now we're good. Now we got the transition. Alright, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but we're back! Welcome. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about the flu. The flu's been really nasty. I'm like the old people part of Florida, so not the exciting part of Florida. No rides or anything like that. So I figured it'd be a good time for a stream. It's just been a while. And I also found this cool thing that I kind of wanted to toy around with because I thought it was really cool. So, yeah, we'll go over to here. So I found this Reddit post the other day, which is basically this ELO-based algorithm tool that a guy made, Lingua Querma, shout out, to rank coasters. So it's basically, you make your list of coasters. So I took my list and I took my top 100 credits and I kind of made it into a list like this. You throw them in, and then it'll make one-on-one matchups between the roller coasters, and then it assigns them basically like an ELO rating based on how they perform. So sorry about that. So, like, for example, it'll throw, like, Hyperia versus, like, the Runaway Mine Train at Great Adventure. You throw them together and you'll pick... I mean, I'll just show you. You throw them together and you pick. So, for example, our first choice is the Raven at Holiday World versus Alpenfury at Canada's Wonderland. So, here you have clearly A, slightly tie, slightly B, and clearly B. So you can kind of decide, like, how you want to go. Like, okay, the Raven, love the Raven, great ride, but Alpenfury, I'd probably say Alpenfury takes the cake. So I'm just going to do one thing, which is the point differential limit, which is good. We're going to jump right in. So I tried this, like, early on, like a little test with all of my credits, and I found that 270 credits is a lot. So, that's why I've cut it to my top 100, because, you'll see. It takes a little while sometimes for things to kind of adapt. So, it also kind of farts out a top 10 and a bottom 10. So our top 10 here, this is my, like, actual top 10, and that's just because it was in the order of how everything uploaded, but if you'll notice, everything has the same score to start, so 1500, 1500, 1500, 1500, etc., etc. Same with the bottom 10, which these are the bottom 10 coasters in my credit list. These are the bottom of my top 100, so these are 91 through 100, so 1500 as well. And so we're just going to start, we're going to get going, and we're just going to roll. So the first one is the Raven versus Alpenfury, and I'd love whoever's watching to hear your opinions on these matchups, because I think some of them will be pretty interesting. Some of them are going to be tough. Some of them will be pretty easy. I think this one, I do really like the Raven, but Alpenfury takes the... Ooh. Nah, it's Dueling Dragons, so we got Apollo's Chariot v Dueling Dragons. An Icon at Blackpool versus Lightning Rod at Dollywood. Also, sorry if it's buffering a little bit. I'm getting a little noise that it's buffering from YouTube. The internet here isn't the best, so I'm just gonna have to roll with that. So this one, I gotta specify that one, I did not ride Enso, so this is Icon, just like the standard ride. They didn't have Enso going at Blackpool, and I've only ridden Lightning Rod with the launch. I haven't ridden it with the chain lift. So, given that, it's pretty easy win for Lightning Rod, but I feel like if I have Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America versus Iron Gwazi. Rest in peace to Superman, but also, like, this is an easy one. I'm just gonna try, something real quick just to kind of help with the buffering. Just because I feel like it's buffering a good bit. Also, is the music good or no? I got to do it in Streamlabs. Sorry, 1 second. think we might just have to roll with this. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, whatever, we're gonna roll with it. So okay, here we have Gardens of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind versus Candy at Hershey Park. That's a kind of a tough... I think I'd say Candy based on my preference. Okay, cool, it does catch up quickly, that's good to know. Yeah, sorry, the internet isn't the best. I tried to do low latency, so hopefully that'll help things as we go along. But as we notice as we're going along, so now the top 10's changing, and we have like 15-20 for Iron Gwazi, 15-20 for Alpine Fury, 15-20 for Lightning Rod, Dueling Dragons. Obviously, this is not my full top 10, but you kind of need to get a full sample size to actually make this work. So we just got to keep crushing through these. This one's interesting. El Loco versus Griffin at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I think I'm actually going to go with El Loco. Then we have Intimidator versus Mystic Timbers. I also think I'm going with Intimidator? Yeah. I think Mystic is kind of overrated. And we have Two Tatis versus the Phoenix at Knoebels. I think the Phoenix is very overrated, so that's an A. And then Jersey Devil versus the Raven. Ooh. So now we notice since we've done the Raven already, it's at 1480. And Jersey Devil hasn't been seen yet, so it's just at the standard score of 1500. But the Raven's probably going to go up here, because I do prefer the Raven to Jersey Devil. Yes, I do. Now, oh, this is the rough one. Leviathan versus Millennium Force. I think it's gotta be... Raven does slap, I agree. I'm a fan of the Raven. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. I hope this makes enough... It's pretty simple. It's just one-on-ones. I think in my own ranking, I put Levi over Millennium Force. Which is tough to say. But I feel like Millie hasn't been as good for me, at least the past couple years, so... they're so close, though. I'm gonna say tie. I'm gonna say tie. Okay, now we have Ravine Flyer 2 versus Diamondback. That's gonna be slight Diamond. And then Sheikra versus Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser just mogs. Alright. We got Magnum versus Griffin. And I bet you can all guess where I'm gonna go with this. You know, Griffin's a fine ride. It's entertaining enough, but it's Magnum. It's Magnum. And Vortex at Canada's Wonderland versus Thunderhead at Dollywood. Oh, I love Millennium Force as a ride. It's a great ride. It's like, I was actually looking through old photos from, like, when I went in 2013 yesterday, and I found some, like, old photos that I took of Millie, which is pretty fun myself. But I just do think that Millie just hasn't been doing it for me as much in the past. Like, this year, I was looking forward, like, a lot to, the new lift hill, but I don't think it made that much of a difference, so... Can't change the stream latency. I'm gonna try it one more time, just un momento. Because it's bothering me, too. Also, how's the music? Is it good here? I don't think I can affect the latency once I have it started, so I think we're kind of just stuck with this, which is fine. Alright, whatever. Gave it a shot. We're gonna keep going. Okay, so Vortex versus Thunderhead. I don't know if you guys rode Vortex in the back, but if you haven't ridden Vortex in the back, sorry, not in the back, Vortex in the front at night, it's incredible. Okay, good, yeah. Well, I don't want the music to overpower the, to overpower my voice, so... Anyways, if you haven't ridden Vortex at night, especially up front, do it. It was magical. Uncle Nate told me to do it. I rode it early in the morning. I'm like, how good can it possibly be? And then it blew my socks off, so it's an easy win for Vortex here. Now we have... I love Gootery just as an experience, but this is a pretty easy choice, honestly. It's pretty easy Batwing. Rest in peace. I'm really gonna miss that ride. You have Wonder Woman versus Guardians. Guardians is a fun ride. I mean, my own taste kind of tailor towards, you know, more intense coasters, so I'm definitely gonna pick Wonder Woman, but I don't know, Guardians is a really fun. Ninja, Magic Mountain versus the big one. So Ninja's really good and a very underrated ride. The big one is really funny and has one of the best first drops in the world. So this is a tough one. I think I like the big one more, but I think Ninja's a better coaster, if that makes sense. But don't sleep on Ninja. It's a very good ride. I do worry that it's going to disappear sometime in the near future, so fingers crossed that does not happen. And we have Vortex versus Candemonium. Actually, like, do think that Vortex is a better ride. Like, that's how good Vortex is at night. I've not been to Epic yet. I almost went to Epic, like, this weekend, but I ended up staying back. My family's down in Florida, but they're in, like, old people Florida, like 4 hours away from Orlando and all the rides, so figured there wasn't really much of a point for trying to get to go over there, so I didn't bother. I don't know if I'm gonna get Epic before I go. I'd say like a 50% chance, maybe. I'm running out of time, honestly, and I'm moving to Europe very soon. If you missed that last video, which if you missed that last video, definitely give it a watch after this. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Stardust is not on this list. None of the coasters from Epic are on this list because I have not ridden them. So, now we got Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom versus the Raven. I'm not very high on Lightning Run. I find a lot of people really like the ride, but I thought it was pretty overrated, especially because Wind Chaser is in the same park, and it's just like a better version of Lightning Run. Nah, bro, it's alright, no worries. So I'm gonna go the Raven here by a pretty comfortable margin. And that brings us to Silver Bullet at Knott's versus it's Viper. It's Viper. Fury versus Wildcat's Revenge. Now that's an interesting one. I think it's gonna be Fury, but it's kind of close. Both very good rides. We have Copperhead Strike versus Sheikra. I wasn't the biggest Copperhead Strike guy either. Like, Sheikرا's fun, right? The Busch Gardens dives are very underrated in my opinion. Well, overhated is the right word. I think they're pretty overhated. I'd say this is a tie. Copperhead's alright. Okay, now we got El Loco versus Steel Force. Interesting. I think that El Loco takes it here. If it were 2 years ago, I would say Steel Force, but ever since they changed the control system at Steel Force, and I've ranted about this before, but like since they've changed the control system at Steel Force, suddenly like it's so much worse. Like they trim at the mid-course so much harder, which is really lame, and they should stop doing that. So, ooh, excuse me, Vienna, Austria. Oh, X2V Skyrush. I think 2 years ago was its best year, honestly. They were running it really well, and then like I got really excited when they put the new control system in. I was hoping they'd be doing it like based on how my actual rankings are, X2 has the slight edge, but this is kind of the opportunity to take them both. I do think X2 takes the cake here. Skyrush just has too many moments where it's just kind of doing nothing. And yeah, X2's pretty brutal, but one thing you can't say about X2 is that it has any boring parts. Like, even that weird overbank thing is kind of exciting, so X2 takes it. Steve versus the... Okay, that's easily Steve. Fury versus Expedition Everest, which I just realized is in my top 100. That's kind of surprising. So I'm gonna say Fury. Lightning Rod v Silver... Yeah, sorry again. Sorry again about the buffering. I'm trying my best with it, but fortunately there's only so much I can really do. Millennium Force. It's dropping in my rankings. I still really like it. Now we have the Coney Island Cyclone versus Gootery. This is an interesting comparison, because both of them are kind of old school rides that beat the shit out of you in entirely different ways. The Cyclone, yeah, I know. I'm watching in my thing that the buffering's getting worse. There's I can maybe try something. Yeah, I'm gonna try something real quick. I'll be right back.